and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 8th of June, everybody. We are over on this left hand side today, and I have noticed because I've moved from this side to this side, I did have to shuffle my trays over to this side of the desk so that I could get my easel up to be able to zoom in, and I have noticed that there are still 3 colours that I have not yet placed on this painting, so we shall see if any of them appear today. What were the other symbols? So 2 of them is a no. Where was the third one? There was the third one. No, doesn't look like we have any of them going on here today. So let's continue working with the colours that we have and zoom you in. Looks like we're doing a bit of plant and window today. We do have some ABs, so I'm going to start off with those. I've got 3 pens here. So this one's got my multi-placer in. This is the pen I'm using today for single placing. This was a gift to me from Lisa, and then I've grabbed an AB pen for, of course, said ABs. But what I think I'm going to do, because I do have putty in this, is I'm going to see which ABs I can potentially multi-place with first, and then move over onto single placing for any that I may need to. I definitely will with the symbol 3. But do we have any more number 2s? No, we do have number 1s though. It's amazing how my eyes always go to the number 3 first for AB placement. It always seems to spot those first, and it always seems to spot the other 2 as sort of an afterthought. Oh, aye, there's some of those as well. I suppose, yeah, it's just what you get used to, isn't it? Right, let me get these to line up a little bit more. We can get some of these gaps in. Trying to get anything that I can sort of 2 or above is what I'm going for. Oh, it's going to look so pretty. Right, Kaz. Firstly, I do want to say, before I start reading comments, thank you all so much for your orders from launch, both last night and still coming through today. We do really appreciate the small, the supporting a small business that you guys all do when you can, by purchasing items from our shop. It allows me to keep bringing new items into you all, and of course still have time to bring these videos to you and all that jazz. So thank you all so much. I keep picking up too many ABs. I've currently got one stuck underneath my thumbnail, but it's fine. I'll get that one off in a minute. Just trying to get my 2s placed, my sets of 2s. There we go. Knock that one out from under my thumbnail. And let's go to do some single placing. But yeah, Kaz, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she is a bit late to that whip and waffle. So I am still on some from Thursdays. Thursday before June waffle started is where I'm up to. So I'm getting there. Can't believe it's taken me more than a week to get caught up on comments. But that's what happens when it's sort of lower, smaller videos. But I can see a few epic ones in my future, so it's all good. So yeah, she's a bit late to the whip and chatter party as she was working. She's just got back from work after one of the prem babies needed a cuddle. Well, cuddling babies is the prime excuse, or prime reason, should I say, rather than excuse, to be late. because they're just so cute. She said she's one of the smallest babies that she's looked after, but she is thriving, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome news. Mysterious Days, she says, hi Rebecca. She says her niece is scheduled to visit during August, and she's currently planning a trade-off with her. She teaches her the basics of crochet, and she's going to teach her diamond painting. So she's thinking of purchasing a set or two of paint gems to allow for a smaller canvas to introduce her into it, because they are quite cute and small, and you do get a sense of accomplishment without it taking as long as a big canvas does. So they're always a nice one. Or a snack size round from Diamond Art Club. She says, given that starting with squares can be kind of tricky. A lot of that, I think, depends on the person. Squares are slightly trickier. My second ever diamond painting was a square. And I don't think I particularly had any problems going from it and to it. I can imagine if you're used to doing a lot of rounds and you've done a lot of rounds, then moving to squares can be a bit daunting. But I suppose if you start hard, then, you know, you learn in the process anyway. So I suppose you're already in a hard part learning. You might be able to then get away with doing the bigger one, but that's just doing the harder one first off. But that's just partly my opinion. I'm always a bit of a go for the hard option anyway. I pretty much always go for the hard option. Even the quilt I'm planning on doing is a triangles quilt rather than a basic squares quilt, so lots and lots of little triangles. So I'm already sort of jumping in at a little bit more of a deep end than maybe most people would, because that's just my personality. I'd rather do the tougher part that I am, I suppose, more happy with the outcome of it and the sense of accomplishment of doing something that's a little bit more tricky. Right, that AB placement, those multi-places didn't go very well. I'm trying to do it with my nail, because if I use my pen with a glue dot, I'm going to cause myself even more trouble. So yeah, I think either would work though. She says she's excited to learn to crochet, and she's excited to see her attempting to diamond paint. And if she's hooked, she says she has extra supplies that she can take home with her to do in her free time, which is awesome. She also says, she said, out of curiosity, she's asked, how do I feel about Diamond Art Club's new perforated covers? She said she knows that I primarily use cover paper. She says, but your opinion on the perforated covers, she said, would be interesting. She says personally she's not a huge fan, as the perforation lines often line up with the middle of a drill. Since it's a 10cm by 10cm grid, and the plastic being so heavy, it makes it way more crinkly. She said also it tends to get more air bubbles, and so when she's not in the mood to replace the cover, it makes it harder for her tray to balance on. Well, so far I don't think, there's a reason I say don't think I've received a Diamond Art Club with the new covers, because I do have one here that I am yet to unbox. I am hoping to do an unboxing video on it soon, or at least get it filmed and checked, because it's Cozy Cabin, and there is some stickers missing from it. There seems to have been a bit of a misprint on ones that quite a few people have opened. So I want to check, because if there is, I would rather email and get the PDF so that when it does come round to it being the one I work on, I have it ready rather than having to stop and go and ask them for it. So I don't know if that one has the perforated covers. However, as much as I think it's a great concept, and I think there is some people that will love it, I know straight away that it's not for me. And there's a reason for that, because of the reason that I use cover paper. I use cover paper because if I don't, I want to wander with my diamonds. So I know that, of course, by just peeling off that certain amount of plastic, the diamonds that are in another section, you can't actually put the diamonds down because, of course, the adhesive's covered. However, my mind would constantly wander over them. And I know if I saw maybe on the next section I'm working along, there was only one of a certain colour that I already had out, I would be tempted to peel it back and put that one on to save me hunting for that one when I came to that section and all that sort of stuff. So I prefer cover paper, whether it be the plain or now my new love for patterns. I like my cover paper to be opaque, and that is intentional. It is to stop my brain looking, my eyes looking at all the other sections, the other parts of the sections, and everything else. So even if I do have one of or the diamond painting that I've recently got, even if it does have perforated cover paper, perforated cover, clear cover, I will not be using it because I like the opaque cover. It blocks off the section I'm working on. It lets my mind just focus on that section. I still miss colours enough, as you'll know, watching any of my whip and waffles, you'll probably see me ending up missing colours because, yeah, my mind just, it's already busy trying to concentrate on where I need to go on symbols this way. I don't need to be looking at, I don't need my brain and my eyes to be looking at symbols surrounding it. I just don't want it to, because it needs to focus and it needs to try and focus on what it's working on. So personally, they're not for me. I know some people who do like to section off the clear cover paper and they section it with washi. I can imagine that for those that just create their own sections within the clear cover, it will be extremely useful for. So it definitely has a place, just not in my craftry, not on my diamond paintings, because I need to be able to focus on what I can see and not everything around it. LM6886. Oh, she says, hello, Rebecca. She says, this is Lisa from across the pond in the US. Hello, Lisa. She says she ordered a package from me last week and she received it today. She says, Royal Post is working fabulous. Yes, recently, whether it's Raw Mail or whether it's USPS, I'm not quite sure. It could even be both of them working together a little bit. But we have had launch orders that have been placed on a Friday night, so they don't get shipped till a Monday. And yes, we do that to ensure that we can get everything prepped we're able to download a list of everything that's been ordered, and make sure that we have everything prepared so that come Monday I can pack, and come Tuesday I can finish up packing and get them all out as quick as possible. But the last couple of months we have had some things that have been ordered on launch, so shipped on Monday, and have been received in the US on Friday, which has been absolutely amazing, considering it is normally about 2 weeks. Getting them to arrive in effect a week from ordering, even though, yeah, a few of those days, of course, it wasn't posted because our launch is Friday evening our time, so orders have already gone out. But yeah, between them, they've been doing absolutely fabulous. She says she loves the diamond trays so much that she's ordered more today. She said, as far as when and how often you should do your whip and chats, she says she thinks that I should do it when my schedule allows. She says, because you're doing so much as it is, that we should accommodate you. She says, not you accommodating us. Which she appreciates me wanting to do. She says, have fun diamond painting, and she'll see me on the next whip and chat. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, both for your order and for your comment. I think most people seem to be preferring me sticking to the Sunday and the Thursday whip and chats. There are a couple that would like it shifted, but the majority seem to be to keep them where they are. So that's what I'll do going forward. More often than not, I tend to film, not including June Waffle, because things always go differently during June Waffle and December Advent. But I tend to try and film. Now I'm trying to do it in the day, which is a little bit easier because Catherine's currently home from uni. So she'll get the door or anything like that. But like when everybody's back at work and uni and out the house, then I still try to film in the day and hope that Luna doesn't decide to bark at everything that she can find. And yeah, I tend to do a week's worth over the course of 2-3 days. It takes a bit of a chunk out of my prep time for the shop, so occasionally I do find myself working on preparing items and doing things for the shop into the evening, but I feel like I'm around the family a little bit more, even if I'm prepping in an evening, more so than when I close myself in to film on an evening or a weekend. And apart from launch weekends and when, of course, Waffle's happening, I tend to get my weekends free as well, or freer. So, yeah. So what actual day they come out is not as much of a thing, as long as it's, you know, I do have to set the limit of about 5 videos a week, apart from Waffle events, because even trying to fit in Waffle events can knock my schedule completely upside down for a little bit, until I sort of get in a bit more of a rhythm. Actually being a bit behind on the comments has sort of helped this time, in the fact that I can potentially do a couple. So this weekend I will be trying to make sure that I've got all my videos done for Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, so that I can then move my dedicated time to packing orders and getting them out de house to everybody. So yeah, but it's working so far, and if you guys seem to like those days, we will stick. Tiffany, she says you're so close to finishing, which is Walking in the Rain. So I am really close to finishing Walking in the Rain. And she said she was just walking in the door from work, she says, when this was released. Oh, perfect time to sit down and take a minute. Take a bit of time to yourself. And of course, this month take even more. Right, I've just spotted 2 number 1s that I missed, so on the basis of them not staring at me, I'm going to grab my AB pen, get those placed, and then go back to what I was doing, which was my arrow. And because my stickers are on the side of the trays, though I do keep having to rub them back down again, because they are on the side of the trays, I don't tend to get as confused as to what symbol I was doing. I mean, yeah, Walking in the Rain is really close to being finished. As much as it would have been sort of a nice boxing off, I suppose, a nice time frame wise to have finished it before June Waffle and start a new project after June Waffle. I'm actually quite glad that it's not, only because my next project after that one is going to be my other Heaven and Earth design, and I still need to prepare stuff for that. I need to try and find some time that I can dedicate a bit more to, you know, filming my screen maybe, and all the stuff I want to pull together to be able to show you guys how I've gathered my stuff ready for doing my Heaven and Earth design and then starting on that. Joyce, she says she made all her quilts with her mum's old Singer sewing machine. She says she has no idea how much they are nowadays. She says good luck on your hunt. Thank you. We have found a sewing machine. We were actually recommended by the lady who's sort of teaching us to quilt and gone through. She's been really helpful with all the sort of hints and tips, and we wanted to make sure that, you know, when we're getting a sewing machine, we're not just getting one that's a-okay. We're getting one that is good for what we want it to do, but of course not ridiculously priced either. She was really good with helping with all of that, and they actually don't recommend Singer as much as they used to. Whether the quality on them is not quite the same as what they used to be, I'm not sure, but yeah, it wasn't a high recommendation to get that make. Whether they are made differently to the way they used to be made, I don't know. But the whole digital world for sewing machines now absolutely amazes me. Yeah, I didn't realise sewing machines had gone digital. But anyway, we love our little machine. I am hoping to carve out a little bit of time to do some with Caris this weekend, because she works Monday to Friday. She works in Manchester, which is about half an hour away from us. So she's often the first one out the door and the last one in. Last one back in, because everybody else, well, I say everybody else, Megan and Lewis both work locally in our town, and my husband, while he can work anywhere from our town to an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours away, his work time is from when he sits his bum in a van outside our house to when he gets his bum out of the van. So his work day includes his travel time. So yeah, weekend is really the time that we can sort of get into some of the nitty gritty of actually getting some quilting done. So hopefully I can carve out a bit of time with her this weekend too. We're going to try our best. If not, we've got one more weekend before we're back for another quilting lesson. So we should be able to get a little bit in before we go back. We've done our homework, but I'd like to have a little bit more progress on the quilt I'm planning to do, so that I can get any hints, tips and tricks on that before I get some more done. Nancy, she says, this is a beautiful painting. She says she's being a good girl and she is not venturing away from her no-buy, which I can imagine is hard. She says she's at 5 months in and she only has 190 something diamond paintings left to complete. See, that would overwhelm me too much, I think. I think that's why I, ended up giving away quite a few. When I had my last sort out, I cleared out and gave away quite a few diamond paintings. I'm still actually wondering whether I should give away more, just because of the amount I have in my stash and the amount that potentially could still get added. But yeah, that's another thing I still need to sort, is the giveaway as well. But I'm hoping once we've done this shop launch and stuff, I'll be able to get that done a bit more. I've just spotted a whole chunk of this last colour that I missed. But that's fine, because I'm working out of trays. I would be so frustrated with myself by now if I wasn't. But it's all good. We can make it work. We can make it work. There is quite a few on here actually that I only need one of, and then it goes away. So it makes me really glad that I am working out of tray. Oh, look, there's another 3 that I missed of that one. Goodness me. If this is the symbol to miss for today, it is definitely this pale green. Okay, are we done? Are we really, really done? That is the question. Blossom Shop, she says, oh, this is a message to Kim. So Kim was talking about organising her books on her Kindle. But she says she has all her Kindle books in folders under authors. She says try looking for custom for sorting your books. She says she can't remember how she started doing it. She says, but because her Kindle is only on her phone, and she just transfers it from phone to phone. But yeah, hopefully Kim has been able to sort out her books the way she likes on her Kindle. I can imagine if she's figured out the way to do it, that she's managed to while away potentially a few hours getting all her books exactly how she wants them, which I kind of love. I kind of love just doing things like that. Jaina Jadot says, hi Rebecca. She says last Thursday, it's the last Thursday, she said, before June Waffle. Yes, we are well into June Waffle now. She says she's still working on her current whip, which is a boat in a lake. Boat on a lake, she says, with mountains in the background. Boat in a lake might have been a bit of a disaster painting. She says, but once that's finished, she is going to move on to a really pretty painting of 2 albino peacocks. She says there are quite a few ABs. She says, so there will be so much sparkle. She says she's doing okay. She says she is taking things day by day. She also has an interview today, so wish me luck. I hope it went absolutely amazing and exactly the way you wanted it to. She says whatever the outcome, she says she'll get to go home to a waiting fur buddy. She says he'll be happy to have me back for sure. Aren't they always? Luna even gets excited when I come out from filming. It's so sweet. She says she hopes things are going well for you and yours, and she'll pop in sometime in June. Thank you so much, Jaina. And I hope you got your puppy cuddles as well. If of course they're a cuddly dog. Sometimes they can be excited to see you and then go, okay, now leave me alone. Darcy Foster, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's just ordered a set of Art Dot trays, though She's curious to try them, she says, though she still loves her zesty trays. I have seen them, but to be honest, I could not imagine diamond painting with anything else anymore. I really couldn't. I just love being able to pick what colour tray I either fancy for my mood for that day, or like now, I get to vary it up and have a little bit of all sorts of different trays, or I like to match it to my painting and my cover paper. But yeah, I just couldn't imagine working with different sizes now. I flip between the two. AMZ and zesty tray I flip with depending on what painting I'm working on. So I'll use the zesty size for Paint Gem Minis, but I tend to use the big one for my big paintings. But with the Paint Gem Minis, I find it stops me from tipping too many diamonds out into my tray at once. If I have a smaller tray, I feel like it's fuller quicker, and I still never use all the diamonds that I tip into it. Busy Lizzie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she would like to say thank you, she says, for understanding from her previous replies, and she's glad it didn't bother me after the video. She says, which you say some messages can do. Oh yeah, there was a message basically on a video a couple of weeks ago that was sort of misunderstood from the intention just due to the way words were used, which can always be hard when it is the written word. But yeah, there are some that are, there's occasional comments and there's not many of them. I think I've only ever had 2 or 3, and I've been doing this for quite a few years, that were intentional being just nasty people. They're just pure nasty people through and through. But Busy Lizzie's comment was in no way like that. For those comments in the past, I think I did reply to one of them. I think another one was just like, you just want attention. It's just somebody who wanted attention. It's like, I'm not taking you on. But yeah, no. I say Busy Lizzie's replies to a lot of posts, so I did believe there was no intent behind what was posted at all. She says, speaking of nicer and happier topics, she says, when watching my new large square painting kitted up, she said she had hoped it would be still waiting from Diamond Art Club, so that she could do it alongside me, and possibly finish before me, she says, like a race. If I was doing June Waffle at the same time, it very well would have been a race. I think it was yesterday's video I mentioned that I was hoping to get some diamond painting done on my recently kitted up painting, but to no avail. I ended up preparing cover paper primarily last night. I felt like if I'd have come into the house with the intention of potentially diamond painting, I had a feeling that as soon as I sat down, my brain would just go, you're spending your time scrolling your phone, my lady. Whereas if I was sat preparing cover paper, I could just sort of listen to my book and it could be a bit mindless. So I didn't get any diamond painting done last night, but it all became apparent this morning why I have spent far too many evenings doing nothing but scrolling on my phone this week, because Mother Nature said hello. So you always know afterwards when it's like, oh, that's the reason. That's the reason I've had no energy this week. Anyway. Yeah, back to that. So she says she was hoping that she could finish it alongside me. Yes, I am excited to do Still Waiting when that one gets chosen by my decision wheel. It is a painting that I'm looking forward to doing, though I am quite glad that it has picked a different company to the one I'm doing for June Waffle. So by doing a Diamond Art Studio painting instead of Diamond Art Club, I do feel as though it gives me that variety. Plus, of course, it's a square rather than this round one. She says it's fine because when it does pick it, she says if she hasn't started it by then, she says, so even when my still waiting does get picked, if she hasn't already started it, then she'll start it along with me. She says, and she'll turn it into a race. She says she loves competing even if it's diamond painting. Well, you turn it into a race when I do get round to doing it. I am more than happy with that. I will more than likely lose, but I'm also more than happy with that. She says as far as June Waffle this year, she is planning on doing Times Square from Diamond Art Studio. And she says she thinks I might have that one if she's remembering correctly. I actually don't think that is one I have. I do have a lot of theirs. I do love the Times Square one. I have done a Times Square one though. Quite a few years ago. In fact, it might have been the second diamond painting I ever did. My second diamond painting that I did in a square. I actually did sort of a Times Square one. Still Waiting is just so different though, with that sort of city look and stuff. Yeah, so, oh no, it's actually 4 colours that I don't have out already. And I actually checked the symbols for all my 3 other colours, but didn't check it for this one. So let's add in 162 into the mix. And I still have 3 colours that haven't been done. But at least we can add in 1, which is kind of nice. To have another gorgeous blue. So yeah, she says she's divided up the canvas into 6 columns and 5 sections in each. Oh, I think my putty needs rearranging. It's gripping onto that diamond just a little bit too much. Let me just squish it in. She says she's done Artist Room, and she said it goes by so quickly as it's colour blocking and minimal confetti. She says so unless you only control yourself to 1 section per day, she says she doesn't know if it would last the whole month. She says, but she could be wrong. She says you will love it though. She says she loves the pastel colours in the painting so much. And she's sorry for the long comment. She says she just rambles on a lot. Well, you're in good company because I'm a rambler too, as you may all know. But yeah, I do stick to the 1 section when I'm doing the June Waffle. And indeed the December. Occasionally I may film a couple on a day, just if I need to get ahead for whatever reason. But that is just because I need to film ahead. Oh, okay. It wasn't 3, it wasn't 4, it was 5 empty trays. I've obviously done seriously badly at counting how many. Maybe I just shouldn't have said anything. Anyway, I want 932. 2 new colours for today. Giddy ants, it's going to be one of those days, is it not? Yeah, so I still do the section for each video, but I do always have a second one on the go, and I know quite a few people do that for the likes of the June Waffle as well. It makes quite often it does help people to feel as though they are joining in the same spirit, as in getting a painting completed from between the 1st and the 30th. But quite often it can also give them a break, especially if somebody's in the middle of a big whip, to pull out a small one, even if it's smaller than this, and just do a little section of that, and then if there's still diamond painting, go back to their current big whip. It can really help with motivation, especially when doing big ones, to have just something that you do a little bit of and then move to the big one. So yeah, any extra diamond painting that I get, if I've not had to adjust, you know, to film in advance a little bit, then I will always go to my big one. And that's why I made sure that there was one kitted up before June Waffle started. So as and when I do find time, I get to move about. But we are getting there. I mean, there's still, of course, quite a bit down here. We've got quite a few big sections to go. And we're not quite a third of the way through yet, but it is getting there. We're up here tomorrow. So this is not a 6, it is a 9. And what I found is I have to move my easel all the way forward and then slide my trays over to the opposite side. And then I can make sure that I can get my camera angle right to make sure that I get my next section. But we're going up here. Oh, we're actually then staying sort of over here for the day after. So we're going to get a bit of the top part done. But I am really enjoying this one. I'm enjoying the fact it's a round. It's a very nice round. The diamonds are very nice. It's pastel, so it's a bit different, which I like. It's got a nice sprinkling of ABs, and it's a bigger painting than I've ever done on sort of a June Waffle before. I get away with it a bit more because it's a round, but I am loving the fact that, yeah, it's just sort of coming together, and I'm still doing the sort of same amount of time whip and waffle each day. So do join me tomorrow. I'd love to say I'm going to get through all of Thursday videos comments, but looking at this, I think everybody is excited for the June Waffle to have started. So we'll see. Will it be the 9th or the 10th that I get through all the comments? Stay tuned and find out. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.